Hi guys. So a question I get every now and then is, Misaki, what's the best study schedule when learning a new language? And I'm not too sure if I'm the right person to give advice because I personally never really created a study schedule for myself, but I thought it might help if I created a video sharing my thoughts and some insight regarding this topic, so that's what I'm gonna do today. Now, the other day I came across a fitness channel and I thought the content being shared could be applied to language learning as well, so that's what I'll be sharing with you guys today. So we're going to call this person Mr. H. And according to Mr. H, the best workout routine is something that you can follow consistently, long term, and still make progress. And I think this concept applies to language learning as well. Just like with health and fitness, language learning requires a lot of time invested and also requires consistent effort in order to maintain and progress. Of course, there are many other factors such as individual goals, lifestyles, and backgrounds, but this is just my simplified and concise opinion. So for consistency, it's recommended that you keep a core to your schedule, something that's not too overwhelming. And that can be something like studying 2 times a week for 20 minutes or listening to a podcast on your way to work. Or it can even be something like reading an Instagram post in Korean every day. On the days you feel like doing more, you can supplement to that core with other activities. Make sure your core allows room for growth as you acquire more knowledge and learn more new things. My core is to listen to something in Korean every single day, and I add to that by actively reading in Korean on the days I feel like it, or maybe texting my friends in Korean and trying to use the Korean language. So those are just some examples. The ideal study schedule also depends on individual goals. So do you want to pass the TOEIC in a few months? Do you want to be able to speak some basic phrases before your trip next week? Or do you want to just learn a language because you find it fun and you want to keep growing? Someone whose goal is to pass the TOEIC in a few months may want to use a textbook and study a couple of hours, maybe 1 or 2 hours per week, compared to someone whose goal is just to enjoy watching TV shows without the subtitles. So a very common mistake I see a lot of my friends make is they tend to set unrealistic goals. Many people expect to master a new language quickly, and when they don't see immediate results, they get discouraged and frustrated, which leads them to giving up on the language completely. To avoid making this mistake, I think it's important to first have clear goals, and second is to set achievable goals and take baby steps towards those goals. Thus, it's really important to create a core or set a core that's simple, not too time-consuming, and something that you can do week by week. And when you feel like it, or when you have the time and energy to do more, then you can just add to the core and supplement. For example, say this is my core to prep for a test. When I have time and energy, I can add to it. If I have even more time and energy, I can add even more to it. The definition of short and simple can differ from person to person, so I recommend testing what works best for you. Remember, learning a language takes time and persistence. Depending on the language you're studying and its similarity to your native language, it can be easier or harder to acquire the language. There will be some days in your life where you have zero motivation and you have no energy, and that's very understandable. In the realm of fitness, Mr. H says it's important to keep your core short, intense, and progressive. For language, I think it's important to keep your core short and active. And by active, I mean in a way that challenges your brain. So I guess that's kind of like intense and progressive. I'm sure we've all had the experience where we're reading through a book or a passage, but we've comprehended none of the material. Like everything just goes through one ear, goes out the other. And I personally think that's equivalent to having done nothing at all, which is why I believe it's important to really be active and try to comprehend and understand and engage with the material you're reading. It will be difficult, but that's how language learning happens. Your brain is a muscle, and to have it grow effectively, you need to train it. Also, by keeping your core short, it's it's easier to stay consistent even on those low motivation days. The reason why we forget a language is because we lose contact with it. We don't use it. We don't encounter it. Having a core that we can stick to will help us keep that connection with the language, and it will prevent us from throwing in the towel completely. I was really surprised to find out how similar language learning and working out and keeping fit is. And not only that, but I'm really thankful and really grateful that I get to share my findings with you all. And I hope you guys found that helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!